going to have some mist between the tree trunks. Just back there. Be careful, you don't hit that rock face because that's big, thick, wet paint. So we may have to take that off. We've changed his mind more than once on this painting for sure, definitely. Well, let's go and do a nice big painting. So I've sketched out loosely a little bit of an image on there. We've got some hills in the background, a little bit of a lake down here, some trees, and I think we're going to do a nice little scene. So let's crack on with a little bit of this baby blue colour made from Prussian blue, a bit of red, and a lot of white. Now this has been coated in linseed oil, very, very little amount of linseed oil and titanium white mixed. Okay, I just want a very pleasant little blue colour up there, go all the way across. Okay, and then we're going to change it up a little bit as we get towards the hills. I was in the hills at the weekend and I thought, I'll just take some sketches of the place. So this is a mixture of different kinds of hills and little mountainy things that we saw up in the Pennines. So just feather it out just like that. Okay, maybe in places, maybe not that much, might be too much. So this will give us the base of a cloud. Maybe it comes down there, I don't know. Maybe there's another one there. And then we're just going to tweak this. So wipe off any excess. I'm going to tweak this and blend it all together now. There we go. So that's all basically blended together. Like that. Clear off the brush. Let's grab a fan brush. And let's put a little bit of a cloudy colour in there. So I'm going to take some white and the tiniest amount of ochre, yellow ochre. Okay, don't want too much because I don't want any green clouds. Okay, and somewhere up here we'll just put a little bit like that. Okay. Okay, now if this is too thin, if you put too much oil on there, then just wipe it all off with an old t-shirt or cloth or something like that. Not too bad, but just could have done with a little bit more of a white highlight on top of this. So that's what we did, and that's what we've got to do. So that's not too bad now. It's looking grim and Yorkshire up there and looking Mediterranean up here, but sometimes that happens. Okay, and again, just twist and turn. I just want to really start, just soften the bottom of those whites and yellows together, just like that. Hardly any touching of the canvas. Alright, I think we can live with that. I think that's not too bad. Okay, right, let's work on a very, very faint, distant little hill. Very faint. So this same sky colour, I'm going to take that and I'm going to just add more white to it. Okay, and if you've seen my paintings before, you'll know that this is how we paint distance. So just the same colour as the sky, just a little paler, because we're putting it on a little bit thicker, so it'll look darker than what it is, because we're putting it on thicker. Okay, and at some point we're going to have to fathom out where his light source is coming from. Don't know yet. It's all over the place in the clouds, yeah. I'm just going to fill this little hill in there, and then we can work on the bigger hills in the foreground, or mid-ground, should I say. Any bit, I've darkened off the colour at this side, just by allowing it to be a little bit thicker. I just want a touch of the same sky yellow colour, basically, just a touch, not much. Just to change the flavour a little bit on this background hill. Maybe there's a couple there that goes off into nothing. Just to break it up. Okay, it's just so you can hardly see. It's so subtle, so faint. And I'm not too sure about this big gap here, so I might have to change the plan of some of these hills and mountains. This is going to be a bit rocky, this one. Okay, right. So let's wipe that brush and let's guide out that one. So I'm going to darken that blue just a touch. Okay, and this one I think is far away, so I'm going to put this in there and see where it looks, what it looks like. Just a touch darker, and it comes down and meets this one, but this one's going to be on top of it, so a bit paler down here. You see these two hills here, so I've highlighted and shadowed them by just darker colours and lighter colours, but they look too symmetrical. Okay, so I'm just going to take a little bit of this darker colour and just maybe bring it round, maybe a bit too dark. Just bring it round a little bit. Get rid of that symmetrical shape, really. I'm thinking that this panel here of hills is going to have a big cliff coming down like that. I think. We'll put it in now, but we'll work on that later. Let's go back to these. So this is just a grey colour that I've made, maybe a bit too dark. It's that same sky colour that we've gone, same for the hills, but I've added a bit more red and a touch more black. Let's see where we go with this. That might be just about right. So these are going to be rocky outcrops with a little bit of highlight on some of them. I'm just going to use this very small, for what we're used to using, very small, really firm little rounded brush. Okay, so just bring it down, bring it down, bring it down. Just want to leave some areas open so we can put highlights on them, and they'll stick a little bit easier than if we cover them up completely with a dark colour. Okay, so really push this in, and then it comes off, so your eye is drawn into the centre, so we'll have something in the centre. I've sketched out some little trees, but you know, who knows what's gonna happen. Of course, I want a bit of mist down here as well, so don't go too crazy. Let's take that dark colour up. So let's block in its cliff face, dropping a little bit of detail just there. You've seen me paint these before using the brush as a knife. Wow, that just does not look like what I had planned in the head. But that's the joy of it, I suppose. You just never know what's going to happen. Right, but it gives me an idea. It gives me another idea. Okay, so the fan brush that's got the white on, I'm just going to smudge some of this white just down here, just to create a little bit of mist down here, just like that. Just follow the angles of this hill, mountain, cliff face, whatever it is now. I'm not too sure, but want a little bit of mist just down at the base. Just that, like that. Follow those hill lines. And have it. Wipe off any excess paint just down here. Again, there's hardly any paint down here now, so layers will stick to each other. So I think it deserves some trees down here. So with a little bit of that sky blue colour, okay, I'm just gonna put a little indication. It's sky blue and a little tiny touch of sap green just mixed into that. I don't want too much going on, but I think it warrants a few trees just to give it some scale, and the fact that I've brought that mountain a little too close. So just a little tiny soft little brush. Just want a little stand of trees, little grove of trees. So, and again, every time I hit the palette, change the colour slightly. Change it slightly. And again, because this is relatively dry, got a little layer of paint on it. You can actually put this thick paint with a soft brush straight on top of it. Okay. As you can see, because I've fetched that cliff closer to us, and the trees that we've put in there, I've had to redo the sketch and completely change what I've had planned. So I've taken a little bit of the Prussian blue and white mix, and we're going to put a little bit, I don't know whether it's going to be a frozen road or a river, I don't know, I just don't know yet. If it's going to be a river, it's going to be straight, and if it's a road, we're going to make it like a little dent, but we just don't know yet. But that's the beauty of it, isn't it? You know, start off with a plan and then all of a sudden just things happen, mind changes. What turns out all right in your head sometimes doesn't go right on canvas. So things have changed again. So what was going to be a section of tree area on a little foothill is now going to become a ski slope or something along those lines. So I'm just going to take some titanium white, okay, maybe a touch of whatever colours on the palette, and down here. So just that rocky outcrop up there, and I'm going to really push this paint into the fabric of the canvas. Okay, so it comes down there, like so. Okay, we can shadow this out as well. Comes up there and down like that. It's up to that rock. Bring it down. And if it picks up some of that undercolour, that's okay, because there's going to be shadows under the snow. Can't see it being thick snow. But this is completely different. You just don't know sometimes, do you? You don't know until you just start painting. So it probably comes over there like that big snowdrift or something along those lines. Massive snowdrift. Scrub this in like that. And we're going to have some shadows under there. Cast shadows by these stones like that. Comes out there like so. And then maybe a little bit here. It might come down there, virtually in shadow. And then there's going to be some at this side, I would have thought. And again, you know what thought did? Well, as you can see, folks, we've had a little bit of a change of plan again. It's becoming the running thing, yeah. We've decided not to go with a stream or river. We have actually gone with a path. Okay, so this is a path through the mountains. Okay, so what started off as a walk through the nice countryside of Yorkshire has turned into a wild mountain pass of Canada or somewhere like that. Kind of crazy how it falls. Anyhow, I'm just scrubbing in a little bit of the browns to create our path. Same browns as that we've used throughout the mountains throughout. So nothing too trivial there. The snow will come down and hit the path, and I don't know what to do about this path. This looks like a natural place to put a couple of trees and a bit of snow down here as well, so maybe that'll happen. But we'll just really scrub in some browns, and then we can highlight it and shadow it as we go along. With the path all mapped in, and I'm thinking that we're going to have trees here, may make this snow drift a little bit more this way as well. So it gives us something for us trees to sit against. So we'll have us rocks up here. I don't really want to change this now. I could make those into black clouds, I suppose, but I think we'll be better off with some trees and stuff here. So a little bit of this bluey, shadowy colour under there, like so. Might come down like that. That's just a bit of a guideline. I'm going to block this in, and then we're going to highlight it We'll put some of this bluey colour down there because this is where the trees are. I want some mist down at the bottom of the trees as well. And then we'll probably have some more of this snow coming down. Natural angle is to carry it on just like this. Okay, maybe that's a bit too strong just there like that. But we can tinker with everything. Just there like that. So just scrub some of that in. And then we'll decide what we're having here. I think a nice little tree here as well. Okay, so first things first, let's block some of that in. So some Van Dyke brown, burnt umber, and a bit of black. So with this all blocked in, and any excess oil paint removed off there, our next layer should stick quite comfortably. So a little bit of a filbert brush, a little bit of a grey paint, pick out where you want. Now this is gonna basically all be in shadow, so we just want some gentle rocky kind of features. Again, don't have a dark outline like a cartoon. I've said that many times, and I can't stress how important it is. You're gonna have one or two dark outlines, but you really need to pay attention to that. And then we're just gonna come along here. Maybe it comes down there like that. I'm gonna change the flavour of these rocks every now and again. This is looking a bit more grey, but it's in the shadow, you see. We're going to add different highlights of the shadows. It's okay to do that, you see. You can highlight the shadow as well. Seems a bit odd, but that's what you can do. Okay, so now we've got this mountain done at this side. It's all in shadow, you see. And the snow drift is up there. Just a little bit of highlighted shadow. That still sounds funny to me. Okay, let's put a little bit of white down there, whatever's left on the brush. Because I'm going to have some mist between the tree trunks just back there. Be careful, you don't hit that rock face because that's big, thick, wet paint. So we may have to take that off. We've changed his mind more than once on this painting for sure, definitely. Okay, let's block in some dark colours where our trees are going to live. Let me find a clean brush which has got some dark paint on it. In fact, what's that got on it? Dark blue. That'll do, since that's what we've got going. Okay, so we're gonna have a tree just there. Okay, and we'll have plenty of trees, I think. But I'm just gonna touch. This is just Prussian blue and black, and it may have a touch of sap green in there. I'm not too sure. I'm not 100%. I don't think it has till now I'm looking at it. I'm just pushing up with this little rounded brush. Load some more paint on. And if that starts making mud when we go over this rock, we'll stop, clear it off, and start again. Alright, with the trees in place, let's try and separate some of these with a little bit of shadow and highlight now. Remember, this looks like it's mainly all in shadow, so I'm just going to hit it on with a little bit of the same blue colour that's going throughout the painting. Now, if this doesn't stick, this is not sticking, then take a cloth or a rag and dampen this down and remove all that excess oil. I'm just going to touch on there like so. We will probably put some different colours of blues on here, because if you ever look at a tree or a leaf or a rock or anything, never one dead flat colour, even in shadow, even in highlight, never just truly in one flat colour. And I've painted one on there as well. I thought it needed something. I was toying with a fence post or anything, you know, how today's gone, it's just been crackers, hasn't it? Just been absolutely bonkers. Put some paint on and just really work on some highlights and shadows. In fact, we'll just go there. This side is done, highlighted and shadowed out. I'm just putting some shadows in the snow. So again, the similar colour to what we've got going throughout. Just a little bit darker this time because it's obviously closer to us. Around the tree trunk. Maybe push something back there. We'll come back and deal with that tree trunk in a moment. Okay, that highlight will be that shadow from this tree will live there, out there like that, and then obviously something like that. Like so. So just to put a few little highlights out on this tree, down there. Just go above the shadow and touch on, put plenty of paint on. The more you tap into this undercoat, this underpainting that you've done, you'll have changed the value, you'll have darkened off the paint, so you've got a different colour there as well. And just remember that these tree limbs grow anyway, so they come straight out to you, they go to the left, they go to the right, they go where you can't see them. That's the beautiful thing of trees, they're so individual. Okay, so with a good dollop of white paint, just right on the edge of these limbs. Just right on the edge. Right where the snow's built up, and just right where the snow's built up and the sun is shining on it. If you want to go bright, just tap it into the painting. Just tap it into the painting. There, I think we're. Oh, look at that big lump of snow. It's all right. That's all right. There's some down there as well, on that way. Anyway, don't make your tree look flat. Don't make your tree look flat. There. So I'm going that way as well. Maybe a touch up at the top. There. Right, last thing, let's put some snow down here, and we're nearly about done. So I'm just going to plough some snow in. The shadow side is on there, this way, so we won't need to worry about that, but just a little bit of snow in there won't hurt. Okay, the nice bit of paint just down there, leave it nice and thick, and I think we're about finished. Wow, well, that is definitely something that wasn't planned. Okay, definitely different to what I imagined when I started my original sketch. If you think I've done alright, give me a nice big thumbs up. Leave me a nice comment as well. If you try this one, the links to my socials are down in the description. I'd like to see what you guys are doing. Subscribe to the channel if you've not done so already, and until next time, take care of yourself, stay safe, happy days.